Okay, here we go. This is another update video about my distal bicep tendon rupture and repair. I think that's what I'm calling this series. Yeah, I'm working on getting the other videos uploaded. Got the first one up, so if you're seeing this one, obviously all the rest are up. So I will do a very short recap and then get right into where I am now. I ruptured my distal bicep tendon. That is the tendon that connects your bicep right here to your radius, which is right over here on the outside when you have your arm towards you. Yeah. And I did that a while ago. I had it reconnected. I talk about this in other videos, so if you haven't watched those, go back and watch those. Get back to where I am now. I am mostly not wearing a sling. The bandages or the steri strips have mostly come off. Sorry about the notification on my phone, I didn't mute it. I've got one steri strip left on, and I'm just going to leave that on until it falls off by itself because it's right in my, whatever you call this, the elbow pit. It's right in there, and I can feel that there's like some skin all bunched up under there, so I'd rather just let it fall off on its own. I am a week, let's see, 2 weeks and 2 days out from surgery. I am a week and a day out from going to the doctor and getting the splint and bandages removed. So in that week and a day since having it out of the splint, I was told to not wear the sling as much as possible, not wear it at home, and to just let my arm do what it's doing and try and use it as much as possible, not pick anything up, not do any weight bearing stuff, but use my arm as much as I was comfortable in using it in day-to-day activities. So like getting dressed, haven't brushed my hair yet, but I've used it to put my hair in a ponytail. I take eye drops every day, so I use it to put the eye drops in because it's difficult with my left hand. So that's been a good bonus. I can now pull my pants up with both arms, which is great because trying to pull your pants up or do pants up with just your left hand is pretty hard. Actually, I couldn't do up pants at all, so I was just wearing like elastic waistband shorts and stuff. So that's a good bonus. I've got most of my range of movement back. It's still a little tight. It gets a little tight like overnight while I'm sleeping, and then while I'm at work, I have it bent most of the day when I'm at work, so it gets a little tight during the day, but I have most of my extension. My arms in general don't straighten all the way. They always have a little bend in them. But my arm straightens out all the way. I do feel that it's still a little tight and I can't move it very fast, but it will extend out all the way. I'm working on rotation of my hand. If I could remember what you call things, supination, pronation, and all that. I can do this fine. That's fine. It's the other way and going palm up. It's still a little tight, but what's weird is it was more tight around my wrist than it was near my elbow. So I'm thinking, I don't know what happened to my wrist. It's been really sore, so I don't know if it was during surgery or whether it was a combination of during surgery and in the splint, because it was really tight on my wrist. I don't know if something happened there, but it's been really sore right in through here. Today it seems to have eased up a little bit, so I've got a little bit more range of motion back. If I have my arm bent, I can get full rotation on my hand here. If I have it straight, it's a little tighter, so I still have to work on that. And if I have my hand down or to the side, I can extend my arm all the way. But if I have my palm up, it's still really tight. I can feel it pulling in the bicep, so I don't want to push that too much. I think I'm still way ahead of the curve as far as getting range of motion back. I'm feeling like as the swelling has gone down and just letting time pass has been more beneficial to getting the range of motion back than actually trying to manually do it myself. And I'm not pushing through any pain. I think that's been a key to it as well. As soon as I try and rotate, as soon as I feel a little bit of pain, I just ease off and stop. Pain goes away, doesn't linger, so I know I'm not doing any damage. So I've been just sticking with that as far as getting my range of motion back. I've seen other videos of other people saying they were really impatient and pushed through some of the pain, and then they didn't end up getting their full range of motion back. So I'm taking a more conservative approach, even though it seems I'm somewhat ahead of the curve as far as getting everything back. So that's basically where I am now. I feel I'm probably, I'll say, a week away from 100% range of motion back, as long as I don't have any setbacks. But the way it's going, every day I feel like I'm making like a huge leap forward. I go and see my doctor in another week and a half, Wednesday the 8th, if that's the right day. It's a Wednesday, so not next week, the week after. And we'll see how I'm doing then. And then he said it'll probably be 6 weeks at least before I can do any like weight bearing with my arm, which is really frustrating because I'm getting to the point where it's, for the most part, probably like 80% pain free. There's only certain movements that cause a little bit of pain, otherwise I'm pain free. I'm getting, as I said, all my range of motion back, so I can do so many things. I can move my arm and do things. So it's frustrating that I can't actually use it for anything. I can use it, I just can't use it for anything. If you get that, it's really frustrating. Let's see, I'll stand up here. Let me see if I can move the camera back a little bit. So there we go. It's a little tight right now. I can show you right here is the incision. This is the one steri strip that's left. I've left this on because I said there's some skin bunched up under here and I don't want to end up pulling any of that, so I'm just going to let it fall off on its own. I would say for the most part it's pretty tight. Any of the bulging here is from some of the tissue that's still underneath. I think it'll probably end up being pretty flat and I won't have much of a scar, which will be nice because it's right in my tattoo there. I've been sitting with my arm bent right now, so it's a little tight, but I can just ease it a little bit. It doesn't really straighten out much more than that. As I said, my arms don't straighten out all the way. Like that's about straight, because I'll show you my other arm. Like that's my other arm straight. I always go to the doctor like to get blood taken and stuff, and they're always like, straighten your arm out. And I was like, that's it, it's straight. So if you compare, that's pretty much the same. If I try and have it straight and then like put my palm up, that's where it starts to get tight. But I, as I said, I'm probably a week away, maybe even less than that, away from getting full range of motion. I don't know how in focus or out of focus that was, but you get the idea. And my arm is more and more comfortable. My hand, I was having a lot of problems with it swelling up and getting tight. I think part of that was, well, I know a lot of that was while I had it in the splint, and all the swelling in my arm from the surgery was kind of constricting blood flow. But I have noticed in the last couple of days it's been getting a lot better. It hasn't been swelling up as much, and I can move it a lot better, almost as good as my left hand, which is nice because I'm right-handed. That's another big frustration of all of this, is being right-handed and not being able to use my right hand for a lot of the things I did. So in having to compensate and use my left hand, my left arm gets so tired sometimes because it's not used to doing all the things that I'm doing with it. So there we go. I've hit just about 10 minutes on this video. Didn't mean to make a 10-minute video, but that always seems to be the thing that happens with me. I probably will update you again once I have full range of motion back, if that happens before I go see the doctor. If not, if there isn't anything significant to report, I'll report back and make another video after I've seen the doctor and see what the doctor says about starting to use it more. As I've said in previous videos, I'm okay with if it takes another 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months. I just want it to heal up and not have any complications and not have to go through this again anytime soon or anytime at all. I just want to give the tendon a chance to fully heal and then just ease back into it with light lifting and then go from there. So I will talk to you later. Until then, peace and love.